I only dated one man this past year, and it did not go very well for me. But I just feel like with what you were saying, I really don't find many options for me right now, like where I live. And it does get smaller and smaller, and I feel like the standards definitely trims down your options a lot.
What happened with the guy that you dated that didn't go so well?
Actually, believe it or not, I met him on a dating website called Hinge. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. It was very okay. So
yeah, very familiar.
Not even from here. We dated for like a couple months, talking here and there, and we were going out a couple times. And once I started nursing back up, I was like, because this is during the summer. This is when I was dating him during the summer when I wasn't in school and I had that time off and I was just working full time in the ER. I said, like when I start school again, like I want to cut things off. But in this time frame of when we were hanging out, like I really actually like this man, and that has not happened for me. And I could not tell you how long. It was forever. And
how old was he, Zoe, and what did he do for a living?
So he previously worked for the U.S. Senate, and he did like Congress work, and he was in law school like around this area. And
his age?
He was 24.
Okay. So very successful for 24.
I agree. And I feel like he had a really good head on his shoulders. He kind of had like the things I was looking for in a man. He was extremely sweet. And I think we just got along so well. Like we clicked initially. And I've never even gone on a Hinge date before or, let alone gone out with a man recently. So I was like, wow, like that was pretty good. Like I'm going to reach out to him again and see like if we could, talk again and see where both our heads are at. And he's like, I have family coming in town. I would love for you to come down and meet them. I'm like, that's wonderful. In that week, we actually ran into each other at a bar. And this was like a couple months after like we ended kind of things. And he pretended like.
Zoe, you were telling us an interesting story before you cut out there. You're just kind of peeking.
Okay, so like what was like the last thing that you heard?
You saw him at the bar. We ran into him at the bar.
Okay, so that same week that he like was texting me all week, like wanting to meet up, we ran into him at the bar. Like this was around Halloween time. And he was with like his friends from like law school. And he acted like he had no idea who I was. And I think he got caught with another girl, like he was with another girl. And I think he was dating another girl. So that was the end of that story. And 5 days later, I got blocked on everything. That same weekend, he wanted me to meet some of his family coming in town. So that was like, I had no idea like what happened. Like I did not do anything wrong. I said hello to him, gave him a hug. It was a very short interaction. And I got like the most, oh my gosh, look that I've ever had in my entire life. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so bad. I get home that same night and he tries to Snapchat me and I'm like, why would I want to talk to somebody that completely ignored me at a bar, like didn't even want to catch up. We haven't talked for months since like the previous time we were going out during the summer. And I left it on open. 5 days later, I get blocked on everything. So that was the end of that story and I have not dated anyone since.
So was there a gal there with him that night?
Yes. I mean, but I didn't think anything of it. Truthfully, like I was just like, like why would he be reaching out to me, making plans to me that same weekend, But yeah,
what do you think of that? Like,
that went.
What do you think of a guy that's at that level, that's in law school, deals with Congress, politicians, sort of stuff? I'm assuming he's a good-looking guy.
Very, and that was another hard thing that I can't really find anyone that I'm attracted to, and he was like one of the first guys that I was generally attracted to.
Okay, so so he's ticking off a lot of boxes for you. So I'm sure you understand there's going to be more than just Zoe competing for his attention, right? Because he's a high-value guy. So what's the issue with pursuing a guy like that? If you dig his vibe to that level, like he's the only guy that you found that attractive in the span of time that you've been dating. Right. So what if you see another gal? Like they're not exclusive, right? Like he's talking about it, inviting you to see his family.
Exactly. I knew in the back of my head, I was like, there's no way that, I met him and I, was like, wow, like this guy's great. That other woman wasn't we're not thinking the same exact thing.
So,
I had that
so he messaged you that night on Snapchat and you didn't read it. You didn't acknowledge it. Nothing.
Yeah. Like we were texting that day.
Right.
the day that we, ran into
So why would
each
he
other.
message
I
you
had
on
no idea.
Snapchat instead of texting you then?
Exactly.
That's what you do.
Weird.
Yeah. Didn't
What
like
is
call
the-
me or
They don't
nothing.
do text anymore. They just only Snapchat. These young people.
But
Yeah, you're gonna
I
have to
haven't
forgive
really
me maybe for
Snapchatted
being a little
ever.
bit thick and disconnected
Yeah,
from Snapchat.
they don't even
because I don't use
The
that app.
appeal
So-
is, Rich. The appeal is that the messages disappear.
Okay,
upon
so it's
opening.
like
So
it's like setting signal messages to disappear after 5 minutes or something like that.
pretty much. Or they disappear as soon as they're opened unless you screenshot it or something like that.
Got it.
You
Got
can
it.
see if they screenshot it, so then they can be like, "Why are you
Yeah.
screenshot?"
And keep in
So-
mind, like, we never really Snapchatted before. Like, this was like
Okay.
out of the blue, like just Snapchatting me and like letting me know that he got home. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Well, it sounds like he did something a little bit goofy on his end, but I still kind of want to press you on this question a little bit more. So, high value guy, you find him attractive. You don't find that in other guys you're dealing with. He's dealing with other women, obviously. So now you know this. He's in demand. He sends you a message. You dig his vibe, but you ignore it, and then you get blocked several days later. Are you
Yes.
surprised?
Ignored it.
I was kind of shocked because I ignored it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I kind of was thinking inside my head, like, what did I do wrong? Like, what made me get blocked? Because I've never been blocked by a man before. Like, this is all
The only thing that you did wrong was that you didn't respond to him.
Mhm.
Right.
and
Because
say like what was up about the, tonight. But like that's not my place to be like. And I didn't
no,
want
but
to-
you know what the message was? Like, were you able to read it in advance, or you can only read it if you open it?
it was a picture of him sitting in bed at 2:30 in the morning.
Did it have a caption or something, or
Nope, just blank.
just a picture of him laying in bed?
Yep, that's it.
So 24-year-old guy's
An
a little bit
invitation.
immature and goofy. It's an invitation more than anything. But it's like, see, for
He's
the
alone.
gals watching and for you, Zoe, like the amount of guys that are going to tick off all these boxes for you gals that you have a strong attraction for, that you have a lust for, even they're rare, and a lot of women compete for them. And the thing is that high value successful guys like that are not common on the sexual marketplace. Beautiful women are everywhere, right? I mean, if you go to Instagram and you do a search on hashtag fitness girl, millions of results will pop up objectively with 9s and 10s, some of them 11s, in some cases, like really hot women. So there's loads and loads of really hot women out there, but the kind of guy that you're looking for that really draws you in and captivates your heart is pretty rare. So I would encourage you in the future, if you find a guy like that, not to take it easy on him and to, just not follow through on something, because like women will be competing for his attention. Like there's no
And
question about that.
I really didn't think twice about it, honestly. And
Yeah, like it
So
would
remind me why you guys stopped seeing each other, like why you wanted to end things. You're like going back to school or something
I
like
was
that,
just
or
I
what
was just going
it?
back to school, and I really don't like talking to people like when I'm in school. But then like when I was alone for a couple weeks, I was like, wait, I generally enjoyed his company. Like this was different than I'm used to. And I was like, wait, did I just screw up? Like, did I mess up? Like not continuing to pursue him? Like
a little bit, yeah.
yeah, that was yeah.
But the blocking is so immature that he just lost a lot of points with that.
Yeah, but if he's got lots of
We got another
options,
girl.
He's got so many options. Are you kidding me? He lives in Naples.
if he's got lots of options and a girl blocks him, you're just gonna be like, whatever, I'll just go to the next
But
one.
he doesn't need to block her. That's just
I've never been blocked before, so like that was new.
No, it's like it's
Have you ever dated a guy of that caliber?
No.
There you go.
I mean, I previously talked to someone that worked for American Airlines, but I wasn't really attracted to him as much.
Yeah.
He was a pilot, but I just didn't have that attraction. But this man had the same exact, really good career, but he was attractive. So like that was like.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, like you're gonna have to, the thing is that women have been told this story over and over again. Know your worth, girl. Don't put up with this, that, and the other thing. I see this on social media all the time, like women telling other women, if he takes you on these places for dates, and you have to disqualify him. If he does this, disqualify him. If he has an Android, disqualify him. It's like they routinely try to find ways for women to convince other women to be miserable and single by disqualifying men for reasons that are just simple, like, oh, he sent me, or he did acknowledge me enough at the bar when he was out there with his friends and probably another gal, which is reasonable, right? Because he's out there with them and her probably. But a little bit of a chase from you, Zoe, might have got his attention on it, right?
And originally that's how we started. Like I wasn't paying attention to him. you know, oh, sorry, I can't like hang out this weekend. You know, he'd have to wait a couple weeks or,
Yeah.
you know, it's just stuff like that. And I didn't think twice about it because I was still like doing my own thing during the summer, hanging out with my friends. So it wasn't like a constant, like, I'm available to him. And I think initially that's what attracted him to me.
Mhm.
And I was constantly working, and during school that obviously changed, and I was like, I would do anything to hang out with this man now.
Mhm. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.